Chris, what is our third main topic today?
This comes from Edward Marcin. Well, horror is continuing to dominate the force at the box office at the second half of 2022, with Halloween Ends raking in an estimated 41 million, and Smile continuing to kill it with a 33% drop.
Nice.
Well, this is under the projected 50 to 55 million they were tracking. This is still a solid number as we inch closer to Wakanda Forever. Thoughts on the box office this weekend?
All right, thanks for sending that in, Edward. And yeah, there were some really big projections for Halloween Ends coming out. They were projecting 50 to 55 million. It obviously didn't come anywhere near that. It came in at 41. But still, this is a great result for them. Now, to put it into a bit of context, though, it is the lowest result that this particular series has had. In 2018, and Taylor, you can fact check this for me, but I think 2018's Halloween, I think it made something in the $80 million range on its opening weekend. I mean, it was a smash hit and deserved every bit of the success that it had. Then the second one came out, and of course, that's the one that they did the split release with Peacock and in theaters at the same time. And predictably, it took a big drop with its box office opening, making 50 million. You got that opening weekend number?
76.2 million.
So 76. So close to 80. So it dropped from that all the way down to 50 million. Now going to the third one. And by the way, all film is subjective, but to me, the 2018 one was effing brilliant. The Halloween Kills, the second one, was effing ridiculously stupid. And then going to the third one, I didn't have a lot of hope. So the third one also suffered a bit. So it took another drop, maybe another 20% drop, down to the 41 million mark. Okay, not surprising, especially considering that the reviews for it are not so hot and all that kind of stuff. But still, lowest result of the franchise, of the series, regardless, $41 million for a little horror film that's a Blumhouse production that they didn't break the bank on, coming off of a generally universally accepted was not such a good second film, and yet it still managed to pull in $41 million. And by the way, Smile continues to rock on. That thing is that proportionally wise and by ratio, Smile might end up being like the most successful film of the year when you compare its budget to what it actually brings in. I mean, I haven't actually broke down the numbers yet, but it could come in there somewhere.
17 million spent on the film.
17 million spent on the film.
Pre-marketing.
So you're talking, this film's going to end up making 5, 6, or 7 times its budget, which is just absolutely fantastic for them. Horror is reigning and saving the day right now on this. So anyway, Chris, you are our resident horror aficionado. You love horror.
I love everything about it.
Particularly eye stabs.
Oh, if
so
you send me
much.
eye violence, I swear to God, I will find you. I will
No,
find
you
you.
can see.
Yes,
If you send it to me.
Her eye violence.
Send it to me.
So what do you think about Halloween's result this weekend?
I mean, I'm honestly perplexed. I mean, Taylor's really our horror person. Taylor loves horror. And even he was like, what the hell is this movie? But people love this franchise and are coming out to see it. I was so confused why people were doing this when it was released the same day on streaming of, oh, y'all are going to go to a theater and see it?
Not everybody has Peacock.
That's true. But like for money, you're going to go see it? Oh, that's a choice. Good for you. I mean, people want to go see spooky stuff in October in the theater. And so it's great that if you are into this genre, you can go out there and see it. Smile apparently doing really, really well, too. And from what I've heard, kind of sticks the landing a bit more than this Halloween installment does. Good for you, Jamie Lee Curtis. I don't know.
Rob, what stands out to you about the box office
Well,
results?
John, once again, I think that we see a day and date release hurts the box office of a film.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you can't, I know that not a lot of people have Peacock, but millions of people have Peacock. And I think that some of the horror audience stayed home. And that's a mistake. When are people going to learn? When are we going to see this where is the reluctance to release day and date? Haven't people learned now? How much money was left on the table? I mean, I was reading an article that said they at least left $10 million on the table.
I'd say
somewhere.
they at least left 25.
Probably. Overall.
Yeah.
But it baffles me. And I'll tell you something. This movie, I find the reaction, I haven't seen it yet. I find the reaction to this movie interesting because it's been very divisive. I've had friends that loved it.
I've heard from a few people that like it too.
You know, this is going to be the most underappreciated movie since Halloween 3 Season of the Witch. That's impossible, by the way. But people have said that. And there have been people that have really liked this and then people that really hated it, which means I want to go see it just because it's so divided with the audience. But still, great. I mean, horror's back. We also had Barbarian that did quite well on a small spend and Smile and this. But you know what? Horror has never great horror films have always been a box office draw. And in my entire life as a film goer, how many times horror is back, baby? You know, you hear that every couple of years and like, really, where did it ever go? Nowhere.
Here's what's interesting. For the first time that I can remember in my lifetime, the top 3 movies at the box office this weekend were all horror. You had number 1, Halloween Ends with $41 million. Number 2, Smile, which has made now $137 million on a $17 million budget. This thing might make 10 times its budget. And then at number 3, the shock horror Lyle Lyle Crocodile, which, you know, you should run screaming out of the theaters about. But in all honesty, you let's look at the top. In the top 10, there are 4 legit horror films. At number 9, you got Terrifier 2. At number 7, you've got Barbarian. At number 2, you have Smile. At number 1, you have Halloween Ends. And then, I mean, no joking, like, depending on how you choose to look at Don't Worry, Darling, I've heard some people try to spin that as a little bit of a horror. I don't know, but at minimum 4 in there, it's a remarkable result for it.
You know what, John, also on this is, I know it's physical media, but over the last couple weeks on physical media at the top of the charts, at the 4K charts, you have Coppola's Dracula, because it was just released in 4K, Poltergeist, the original Fright Night. These have all been released. Of course, it is Halloween season, so they're going to be at the top of the charts, but they're still at the top of the charts.
Yes.
People are buying catalog horror titles, so even vintage horror titles are doing well.
Movies are experiential events, and few genres do that as well. Deliver an experience like the horror films do. Actually, I want to ask Alu and Kaylee, are either of you guys big horror people?
It's so funny. We were just talking about that. I'm not, but with a franchise like this, I do always end up checking it out. I love Jamie Lee Curtis, and I always, you know, like you, I want to know, okay, it seems divided. So I always check it out when there's like that kind of controversy going on.
What about you, Alu?
Yeah, I actually love horror films, but there's like a catch-22 because if I watch them for too long, I get nightmares. Like when I saw the movie Us by Jordan Peele, I loved it. It was a great film, but then I literally had nightmares for like a month, and I didn't watch a horror film for like a year.
All right, well, good. This is good news for me. This is good news for me because let me ask you guys this very important question. Have either of you seen the movie The Descent?
My best friend is obsessed with that movie, and I'm pretty sure she made me watch it one time. All I remember is they go down into a like spelunking expedition.
All right, this is great because this is great because now we got more participants because Aaron and Chris have never seen it. We're going to do a night at the John Campea Show Theater where we are going to put on The Descent and we are going to film reactions and you guys are going to get to be there too. We're going to have you guys in for this. It's going to be a fun night. I can't wait. Just a little insider tip. Don't sit beside Aaron.
Oh, she'll smack the shit out of you.
Yeah, when she gets scared, fists start flying and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. It's a bad scene. Anyway, guys, question is for you. What do you think about this whole thing and the box office results that we just got? Whatever you guys feel about it, jump down into the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Hey guys, we want to take a second to thank the sponsor of this video, MasterClass. You guys know we have been sponsored by MasterClass and we love them here at the John Campea Show for giving us in-depth information on a wide variety of topics from the world's best experts. With MasterClass, you can learn from the world's best minds anytime, anywhere, and at your own pace. You can learn the art of filmmaking from James Cameron, improve your cooking skills from Gordon Ramsay, or learn how to make compelling YouTube videos from Marquise Brownlee. With over 150 classes from a range of world-class instructors, that thing you've always wanted to do is closer than you think. I was recently watching through the independent filmmaking course by Spike Lee, and I found it fascinating that not only did he cover the broader topics like working with actors, but he also gets into finer details like working with a cinematographer and how to properly audition a DP for your project. It was fascinating. So guys, I highly recommend that you check it out. Get unlimited access to every class, and as a John Campea Show listener, you get 15% off an annual membership. Go to masterclass.com/Campea now. That's masterclass.com/Campea for 15% off Masterclass.